Hands free, hands free. Hands up, hands down. Hands up, hands down. The Atlanta Falcons put us down. They did it again. They did it again, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome everybody to the Grady Taylor Show. Hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I was having a wonderful weekend until Sunday. You know, it's always good until game time Sunday. But I want to, just say thank you everybody for all the phone calls and messages and everything, and the congratulations on the book I Am Enough. Thank you, Wanda D. Hollis, for allowing me to be a co-author on her book, Wake Up Winning, Volume 2. So make sure you guys go to my page. And also I'm going to load the purchase link on my website, djgradybaby.com, the Grady Taylor Show. So I'm definitely going to do that sometime this week and get that done. So thank you everybody for the support. Thank you for all the people who purchase books. Please continue to support your boy, and I will support you. You know, hey, this is a calm day. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to keep my blood pressure down. I'm going to keep my register down because I know I have my sister on the show. Shamika's on the show. I'm going to be real nice today. I don't want to get my feelings hurt today. But I want to say thank you once again for checking out DJ Grady Baby. Also, make sure on Thursday, we're live 10 a.m. Thursday morning, 7 p.m. We have Tisa Beatty Show. 8 p.m. we have Dawn After Dark. So, and also on Mondays, we have Wanda D. Hollis Show on DJ Grady Baby Radio. And also Wanda, she just doing shows every day this week, I think. Wake Up Winning. She's doing a countdown to 100 days. She's very motivational, very inspirational. So you guys make sure you guys get up in the morning, meditate, and listen to Wanda. Because boy, I tell you, if you got a fire lit inside of you, Wanda will fan your flames. That means she will fan your flames so it can erupt to something big and great. You know what I mean? So let me bring in. I'm gonna go right into the West Coast, to the far West Coast, Texas. That is, state of Texas. To my little sister. I'm going to show her so much love. She's a mother school. She's a school teacher because this pandemic making all these parents school teachers. Shout out to the single parents out there, especially single mothers out there doing their thing. School teachers out there with the kids. And I feel sorry for the teachers who have to teach Shamika's kid because she on them left and right. She stand behind the camera like a stalker, just waiting on the teacher to say something wrong so she can stick her head around the corner. Like, what you say? You know, I'm gonna start calling her the checker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the microphone, my little sister, Miss Shamika. What's up, girl?
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, checker?
I'm I'm well, thank you.
All right. How's the kids doing in school? You ain't had
Oh,
to check.
no, I everything going good. They transitioning some of the kids back to the classroom, but mine gonna stay home.
Oh,
So a lot of things are changing. The schedule's changing, so we're adapting.
okay. I'm proud of you. You've been consistent and you've been cool and calm and everything. You know, if anytime you need me to make you laugh, to decompress you, so you can get that stress off, you call me. You know, my phone line is always open.
I know.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
All right. Let me bring in her. She should be. I think she's a life coach. But motivational queen. Man, she just all over every platform. Ladies and gentlemen, you can catch on YouTube. Everywhere. Hold on, I'm touching stuff again. I'm messing up. I'm supposed to be clicking one day. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome to the microphone, Miss Wanda D. Hollis.
What's up, though?
Hey,
What up,
Miss
though?
Wanda.
Hey, Shamika. It's so good to hear you.
You too.
I have
Yeah,
been missing you
Miss you all too.
yeah, we miss you.
since you decided that you was going to be a stay-at-home mom and take care of your kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't do it. Nobody will.
Somebody had to
Man,
do it.
somebody got to do it. I'm so proud of her. She's calming herself down because she be on fire around there. Yeah, this teacher had tried me. Gonna say some mess to my baby. I said, oh Lord, she just asking your baby what's her middle name is.
Why she being nosy though? That ain't got nothing to do with 2 + 2.
Oh my goodness, Miss Wanda, did I do your introductory right? You on every day this week, right? With your wake up.
Well, I am on every day. We doing 100 days of motivation to manifestation,
Mhm.
and we're in day 41 right now. Every morning, 6 o'clock, setting intentions, Um, it's a lot of stuff going on,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I just wrapped up a show. The I Am Enough talk show was on at 7 o'clock, so we doing that, and we had a show on Wednesday evening as well. Wake up winning.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of stuff going on, but
Oh yeah.
but it's cool. And I was on two comedians in a bucket a Saturday morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. I bet it was a lot of fun and a lot of laughter too.
It was we actually got muted. Well, they streamed, regular radio streaming, but then when we went inside of Facebook, we got flagged because I guess they didn't like what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they muted us. We
Oh
weren't playing
yeah.
any music or nothing. It was just a conversation. Guys, it is FBI season in Facebook.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They looking for a reason to flag it, and it's the same thing with on Instagram too.
Yeah, I
Um,
got flagged on Instagram too.
yeah. So they're looking for keywords and everything. Also, we gotta give a big shout out to the Atlanta's, um, the World's Women's Conference and Awards, the Atlanta
World Women's
chapter.
Conference and Awards.
Shout out
Atlanta
to that team,
chapter.
the Atlanta
Yeah.
chapter. Oh, you guys are awesome, and I love. Man, you guys got to check us out, man. I'm gonna let Wanda talk about because y'all know I'll mess this up. Go ahead, Wanda.
Well,
You should be used to
well,
this.
let's see. So the World Women's Conference and Awards is a global platform to help for helping empowerment of women through education in quite a few different continents, and we are a part of the Atlanta chapter
Hmm.
here in Atlanta, which our big event will be next year in March. But we had our launch, and then we had an event a couple weeks ago which we honored our youth, and they were had the opportunity to voice their concerns during COVID season and what they were experiencing. And it was just a really good opportunity for them to talk and the parents to kind of learn some things that they may not have known about their children. And we have an event coming up next. What is it? Is it October for domestic violence and awareness? And I don't know. It's a lot going
Yeah,
on. So
yeah.
our intentions are just to be consistent with raising awareness and for different issues, and also to strengthen our base of people that want to get involved. So if you're interested in wanting to get involved, then you can just let me or Grady know, and we'll direct you in the right areas.
Hey man, y'all. Yeah, I love the way she do this thing. I tell you. All right.
You so
Also,
cool.
too, we want you guys to be aware. October the 5th, the voting. It is very important that you guys register to vote, and also get ready for the voting that's going to be going on. I think October the 5th is the deadline for
For
early vote
registration.
the registration, and I think early voting is the election is November the 3rd, but I think the early voting ends around October the 5th. I'm not sure. I forgot. Y'all
Well,
charge it to my head, not
we
my heart.
got somebody on here that's gonna straighten all of that
Yeah,
out, Grady.
that's right. Yes, and she is a native from Atlanta. She's an almost Grady baby, but she's like Grady baby cousin. She was born next door to Grady. But she's an honorary Grady baby because if it wasn't for Hugh Spalding, it wouldn't be for Grady. You know what I'm saying? So matter of fact, the place she was born is the mother of Grady. You know what I'm saying? That's mama.
Got it.
So yeah, yeah. So it grew from Hugh Spalding to Grady, and then from Grady it came Emory. So that's the lineage, that's the tree, the family tree
Okay.
of the Grady babies. But hey, but she's here. She's Atlanta Ohms. Attended Fulton High, Southside High School. Her father's successful entrepreneur, businessman in Atlanta. I'm just gonna let her talk about it, but I just want to, we're gonna talk about politicians. We're gonna talk about the politicians and their mission statement. We're going to also talk about her, what's her mission, what's her goal is, and her background and how she got into the life of being a
Politics.
politician. Yeah, and just
Okay.
miss.
Awesome.
I'm a butcher of names, but I can't miss this name. Valencia Stovall, Miss
Stovall.
Stovall. Y'all charge it to my head, not my heart. Y'all know me.
Yay!
Yay, G Clark. Hey, Miss Stovall, how you doing?
I
Representative
am great.
Stovall.
Thank you. You did a good job. You did a
Oh,
good job.
all
And
right.
you talked about Hugh Spalding, but my mother and my father were both born at Grady, so they are Grady babies.
Okay. Well, how you got to be a Hugh Spalding?
I don't know. My mom just said that that's where I was born. My birth certificate said I was born at Hugh Spalding. So I just look at it. My sister and I both. So we just look at being special. Now my youngest sister Angela was born at Grady, so we all in
Okay.
that mix together.
I'm gonna tell you, back in those days, I think that was a blessing that you was born at Hugh Spalding, not to rag on Grady Hospital, but reason why we said Grady baby, you had to be special if you was born and you had medical surgery back in the day at Grady. You were special because I think we called guinea pigs back then, but you was born in a special hospital. All right, Miss. Can you give our listeners and also your listener your brief background as far as your family history, for how with your business and community, and that led you up to politics?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, DJ
Hmm.
Grady. Thank you. I think it was Miss Moore, and Miss Wanda, the motivational queen. Thank you for allowing me to come on your show this evening. I'm State Representative Valencia Stovall. I was born and raised in Southeast Atlanta. And there, my parents started a business, a screen printing business, promotional printing business. And so we worked that business for over 30 years. And my dad was very involved in the community with being a coach at Thomasville Recreation Centers. Those who are from Southeast Atlanta know about that. And then also with him being involved as a community advocate, being the chair over local MPUs. Those in Atlanta know what I'm talking about. And so with that, we got started in the political arena because my dad was very active in the community, and he would take my sisters and I have two sisters. I'm the middle child, and would take us out on in campaigning. He was instrumental in working Mayor Maynard Jackson, our first African American mayor of the city of Atlanta, on his campaign, both campaigns. And when Shirley Franklin decided to run for mayor as the first Black woman and first woman as mayor in Atlanta, my dad was instrumental in that election. Many of the other state representatives, senators, even on the gubernatorial when it came down to Jimmy Carter, the Peanut Brigade. So all of those are things that how I got involved into the political arena. Never thought about running for office, but I guess eventually it was in my blood some kind of way.
Oh, wow, wow. So, how many years? What year? Well, how many years have you been a representative?
I've been eight years. So I was elected in 2012. This particular seat in Clayton County, I moved to Clayton County in 2006. We had our business location there as well. And when this seat became open in 2012, the person that had this seat decided to run for another seat. And so it became an open race. And so my dad said, "You ought to run for that seat." I said, "No, I'm gonna run." I said, "My mouth gonna get me in trouble." I said, so I don't think I'm gonna run. He said, "Well, you're not doing anything else. Let's go ahead and run. We'll see what happens." So 8 years later, we're here. I've been successful for 4 terms as a state representative.
Oh, wow. So when you first ran, did you run independent or did you Republican or Democrat? What did you run?
I was a Democrat and still am a Democrat as a state representative.
Okay. So what made you decide to run for the Senate seat? And first of all, if as an independent, and also, which seat are you running for? Are you running for Miss Kamala Harris seat, or are you running for the the other seat? Are you running for for the special election or the other Senate seats?
Okay.
Okay.
So it is a bit confusing. Usually,
Uh, uh,
there are not two Senate seats that are up for election in any state. They're usually rotating years. And so, this seat that I'm running for is the Johnny Isaacson seat, in which he retired last year. And so, whenever the elected official retires or resigns from a seat, there's an appointment made for a short duration of time. So, the governor made an appointment for this seat, and then but the people have to decide who they want to represent them in Washington D.C. So this is a statewide seat, and it's a special election because it's the remaining 2-year term that Johnny Isaacson will not be able to finish out for this election.
Okay. Now, what's your okay? I know my panel got some more questions. I was just trying to get mine out the way first. Um, hold on. Do you guys have any questions, Wanda, Shamika?
I do.
Okay,
If you don't mind.
go ahead.
Miss Stovall, you mentioned something that kind of resonated with myself. You said you told your father you didn't want to get involved, or you were hesitant to get involved because you thought your mouth was going to get you in trouble. My question is, what kind of, I guess, barriers, or what do you find is the hardest thing about being a black woman in politics? Like, we get judged, for being aggressive or loud, and our mouths and things like that. Like, what has been your barriers or things that you've had to overcome?
Definitely, there's always barriers. As being a black woman, a woman first, black, all of it come together because it wasn't like you were a woman, then you chose your color. So
Right.
being a black woman, being a black woman, like you said, there are certain connotations or preconceptions of black women in the United States, even internationally. And so, always taking that into account, but knowing that I had a heart for what I wanted to do was serve. Even though I wasn't elected, I've always been involved with PTA. I was PTA president on the local level and then on the citywide level. And so I always been involved because following my dad's footsteps of being community oriented. And so I was taking those barriers and seeing how to improve them, knowing that I'm standing in the seat, I'm standing on the shoulder of other black women who served in this position, even at the state capitol, that you have a certain reputation that you have to uphold. But knowing that, when I know I'm fighting for something that's right, I'm going to speak up. And everybody knows me, my reputation at the state capitol, that if it's something that I feel is not right, I will speak up, even if it goes against my party, which I have done several times throughout my 8 years, which is one of the reasons why I decided to run as an independent. I want to be able to think independently, vote independently, and not beholden to the leadership on either party, because they have a strong force when it comes down to how representatives and senators are to vote. And if you don't vote along according to what they say how you're supposed to vote, they ostracize you. They talk
Right.
about you really bad. And so, not only being a black woman, but also stepping outside of that comfort zone of I'm a vote Democrat. No, I'm voting for what's right. And that's why my tagline is champion for all Georgians, because you can't be beholden to a particular party, because that party is not for all Georgians. Therefore, that party that they're representing and the people that they particularly are representing.
Right.
Hmm.
Thank you for
Okay.
that.
Oh, great question. You Wanda?
Oh, no, I was just saying wow too. I feel you. I feel you on that. Just because of when you're a part of any organization, there is this mandate of you have to follow protocol, And I think back to when my friend, when she had first taken the seat of city council, and she had said to me, she said, I had this stack of papers that I walked into, and they told me
Mhm.
what to vote yes to and what to vote no to. And she said, and I told them I wasn't voting until I read every piece of paper to know what was best for the people that I'm serving. And so I would tease her and say, you better have a bodyguard because you are breaking all of the rules.
Yes, yes, yes.
So just the fact that you're in this political um game like this, have you had to say vote yes when you wanted to vote no on certain issues because of the pressure of being in that seat?
No, and that's what has got me in trouble with my party. And even at times, I've been the only Democrat that voted yes for a bill, and all my other colleagues voted no. We would discuss, but one thing about me, I always told them in advance how I was going to vote, so they never were surprised about my vote. And that's the type of person I am. I'm telling you exactly what I'm gonna do, and we can talk about it. But when I feel very strongly, and like I said, the people elected me from my district to go and represent them as their powerful voice with among 236 members at the state capitol. And so it's important to me, and it was important to me when I took this position that I can be that voice. for them. And whenever I voted against the party, because I'm in a Clayton County, which is a predominantly Democratic county, and so whenever I voted outside of what the party said, I held a town hall meeting and I told them this is why I voted. I gave them all the facts, and they said, "Oh, okay. We just want to know what was happening." And one thing about it, I'm able to work across the party line. I'm able to work with Republicans. I'm able to work with Democrats. And because my stance is so strong at the state capitol, I'm one of two Democrats that have a leadership role up on the Republican-controlled House of Representatives. And that didn't come lightly. It didn't come with me kissing anybody's butt. I don't know if I'm able to say that word, but kissing anybody's butt. But it's because I stand for what I stand for, and I let everyone know where I stand. And because of me being who I am and being able to work across the aisle, I was able to bring $45 million to my county, to Clayton County, because of the jet fuel tax issue. And
Wow.
so that is not a easy feat when you're talking and you're working in a Republican-controlled legislature.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Oh man. Wow. So let me ask, with the House representative, and I want you to be able to communicate with the ladies and the young ladies and the young men uh, about your position as a representative. Can you just break down, just like you spoke about the jet proposal that you brought to Clayton County? What other how did you get into what should they do to prepare themselves for a life in politics, and what's basic steps they need to take?
Well, definitely you have to have a heart for it. It takes a lot of sacrifice.
Hmm.
Many times you're going to spend time away from your family. You're going to spend time away from things that you really, really want to do. But because you decided to take on this armor of service to the community, that's the first thing that I would recommend to anyone that wants to get in politics. Don't think you're getting into it for name recognition, because there are going to be many nights, many days where you have to make tough decisions, and you have to be in your heart to want to serve and make things better for you. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is to research the area in which you want to get involved in. Be involved in your community. Start locally, like I heard you all mention about an organization that was geared towards helping the young people. That's where you start. Get involved with local organizations. There are plenty of nonprofits across the area, not just here in Atlanta, but across the state and other states. So you'll know what the issues are. It's important, if you're going to be an elected official, you understand the issues. And then you have to also, then you learn what it is, what it's going to take. You learn what policy is. You learn how to go in. How does the bill, how's it made up? Who determines what that bill is going to be? How did they even come up with an idea about the bill? So get involved first before you decide you're going to run for office. It'll serve you. It'll keep you from having a lot of headaches, and it also will make you serve the people even better.
All right, all right. Now another question. Hold on, you gonna say something, Shamika? Wanda, was that?
No, I'm checking for comments on the page right now.
Okay. And I want to thank everybody for checking in and watching. I see the numbers is going up. Thank you guys for checking us out. We're speaking with Representative Stovall. She's breaking it down to us. I'm about to hit her with some few more questions. With running independent, do you feel that you could be taking votes away from the party, the Democratic Party? Because I know another gentleman that's running for Senate too. I want to say his name. Oh, I'm gonna butcher his name. Was it Warlock? Um, I think it's WAR. Is it Warlock or something?
I
Help
don't
me
mention
out.
my opponent. I
Oh, I'm
don't mention
sorry.
my opponent's
Another
name. I just know
okay,
Stovall. That's all.
okay. Um, wow. I'm new at this thing here, so
It's
um,
okay. It's
but
okay.
do you feel you taking votes from a party? Because it seemed like this is a question for one of the listeners. They had that question asked for me to ask you. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know you said you started off as a Democrat. Now you are running independent. So how do you feel? And do you get any flack for running independent from your other constituents?
Actually, I have gotten very, very supportive comments from my constituents, because one thing about it, our issues that we deal with are not partisan issues. So when you start saying taking votes from a party, taking the votes from what, an issue, So I'm running on issues, 3 issues that I'm running on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't look at it as taking votes from a party. I look at all our issues are nonpartisan issues. They are people issues. And what I found for the 8 years that I've been a state representative, we've been putting bandages on these issues. And
Mm-hmm.
we're thinking that we're coming up with solutions, but the real solutions have to come from Washington, D.C. And that is more prominent now with COVID-19 and how dependent we are on those resources that have to come from Washington, D.C. So I look at it like this. I'm running as an independent so that I can be able to vote, like I said earlier, independently and look at the issues. I can work with both parties without any issues as to who's ever in charge. I'm going to work with them. They're going to have to work with me to be able to earn my vote. And so I think it's the best benefit for the constituents of Georgia, the voters of Georgia, when you have someone being able to go in knowing that they can look at both sides of an issue and make an intelligent decision. And then if one side is not doing right, I'm able to say that without any slack or saying, oh, you're going against the party. So
Okay.
don't look at the party on the end. Look at the person. If you check my track record for what I've been doing for 8 years, my first bill I introduced dealt with establishing cameras in the classrooms of special needs students. And these were kids that are self-contained. And so I tackled the issues. My second bill I passed that passed and is signed into law designates March the 21st as Single Parents Day in the state of Georgia. And we've held awards event. We just held one in August, recognizing single parents and the work that they're doing across the state. So the issues that I tackled are people issues. They're not party issues. And one other thing I did want to throw in was that if you all watched the DNC convention, you saw something kind of unusual that usually doesn't happen. I think RNC did it as well. They started recruiting people from another party, from the Republican Party, to vote Democrat. They didn't mention about Democrat. They said vote for the person. And so
Mm.
that's what I'm saying to you all. Just like the DNC did it, the RNC did it. They didn't have to take away no votes from anybody. They said vote for the person who you think is going to be best. So that is what I'm saying to your listeners is vote for the person who you feel is going to be best and serve your interests the most. It's not, you're not going to line up 100%, but majority, you look at that person and make sure that they're lining up to what you believe that they're going to fight for you in Washington, D.C.
All right. Okay. Now, when you get into that seat, um, what will you be pushing? What issues are you planning to change or you want to change in?
Okay. So there are 3 areas that my focus will be on. One is economic opportunity, and that deals with transforming our education system, supporting our small business growth. And now with our education system, I know Ms. Moore is dealing with that now, so she definitely can attest to it.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
antiquated. It's
Mhm.
antiquated. And because of COVID-19, we really saw we knew there were holes in our education system, but we've seen bigger and greater holes that have to be filled. And it's going to take with changing that the way that we're delivering education to our children. Our education system should be student-centered and not based on what the system says that they want to do for our kids. I believe that every child should graduate high school with a certification and a trade so that they can be able to take care of themselves. And if they decide to go to higher ed and 4-year college, that's even better. It cuts down on student loan debt, but it also gets them acclimated into society a lot faster. We already have dual enrollment here in Georgia, which is doing a phenomenal job. So they all works in together. On the supporting the small business growth, many of our small micro businesses suffered and still suffering through COVID-19. And when the money came down from the SBA for the PPP loans and the EIDL, those loans that were given, many of our micro small businesses that were not able to participate. They needed support, and the support was not there. And so I want to work on reclassifying the definition of small business to include micro small business in that. The second thing is government efficiency. We must have a well-run government that's fiscally sound. And that includes making sure we have affordable and quality health care, that we have immigration, looking at the status of immigration, making sure that's available. We're looking at our justice system that needs to be reformed, and how do we work with our local officials on doing that, and we're doing a framework on the federal level. And then our infrastructure, our broadband needs a lot of work. Our roads need improvement. And lastly is global stewardship. We need to modernize our global trade programs and sustainable environmental practices. We are not an island on our own. We cannot produce enough products here in the United States. So we have to have international relations. And one other thing I want to throw in real quick is that as a state representative, I sit on 5 committees. I sit on small business development, economic development, tourism, interstate cooperation, education appropriations. I'm a vice chair of the subcommittee on education, academic achievement. But when we were at a meeting, I found out that continental Africa, the state of Georgia does not have a business location on the whole entire continent. We have locations in China, we have locations in South America, we have locations in Canada, Mexico, and some other countries. And the significance of that, because many people might say, so what? The significance is that whenever a state puts in their time and resources into a country, they're going to bring those companies to do import and export back into Georgia. And that helps feed our economy, but it also helps the continent of Africa. And the last time we had a business location was in 2017.
Oh wow. Hmm.
Oh, I do want to go ahead and jump in, Miss Valencia, if I may. I have a question from a listener, Angela Hardy. She wants to know how many black women are in the U.S. Senate.
There's only one black woman in the U.S. Senate, and that's Kamala Harris. And so this race is very, very historical. When elected, I will be the first black woman from Georgia to serve in the U.S. Senate. We have never had anyone black. We never had a black woman to
Wow.
serve in the U.S. Senate. And what happened is Carol Moseley Braun was the first black woman elected, and that was in 98, 93 to 98. And then it took so many years later when Kamala came in 2017. But if she goes to VP, we would not have a seat at the table for black women, would not have a seat at the table because she will be gone. So it's very significant. And we've never had a black woman elected from any of the southern states to the U.S. Senate. And as you know, you're hearing about the nomination from the president for the next Supreme Court. So this Senate seat is very important because we're the ones that confirm those executive nominations and a lot of other stuff we're able to do. But that's very, very important because some of these positions are lifetime positions.
And I have one question from myself. What advice would you give to the generation that's just coming into the voting scene? Like, there's a lot of people, they're discouraged, and with everything that's going on, like, how would you motivate them to get out and vote? What is your advice to them?
Well, one thing is that if you look at what has happened to you during COVID-19 and you're okay with what happened during COVID-19, then don't vote, stay at home. Which I know that everybody was affected some way or another with COVID-19. And COVID-19, the results of are policies. So the people that you're electing are policy makers. They're the ones that are deciding on what resources are supposed to come down, how fast the resources are going to come down, who the resources are going to go to, who they're going to benefit. So if nothing else is enough to motivate you, look at what's happening with COVID. They're even talking about a second round coming up again. So you have to have people in place that are going to first have a heart for the people and know that there are needs. You have so many people that are suffering from unemployment, have not received their money from unemployment. They're on the verge of being evicted out of their homes. Parents were thrown into a turmoil when it came down to distance learning and having to get into a position that most of them had never had to be in before. Food shortages, trying to find out ways for food. So there's so many things that are going on. You talk about getting tested, what's going on with our healthcare system in some rural areas. They don't even have a OBGYN. So pregnancy is going to happen. Women going to have children. But what plans and process do we have in place to make sure those children are delivered healthy? So there are a whole gamut of things. So you just choose one issue that you have, and that should be enough to motivate you to go and vote.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Thank you so much.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
Now, for the new listeners that are listening tonight, I wonder if you can explain the difference between a popularity vote and a electoral college votes.
Electoral college, yes.
Yes.
So the electoral college was set up to be fair when it came down to voting. And it's very unique because the only time we use the electoral college is for the president and vice president elections. All the other elections, the Senate, U.S. House of Representatives, U.S. Senate, even our local elections are all done by popular vote. And so the basis was that some of the smaller populated states might not be able to have a bigger voice or equal voice when you compare to states like California, that have a lot of a huge population versus Delaware, or one of the smaller states. And so that was the basis of the electoral college. Now, some states, if the population vote is majority in one particular party, then they automatically pick up those electoral college. But there are individuals that are selected to be able to go and vote on your behalf. But it has been a lot of talk lately about changing, and that'll have to be a constitutional amendment, to change it to a popular vote, because so many people felt like their vote did not count when they said, "Oh, this person won by popularity," but the electoral college actually determined who was actually going to be the president and vice president this last time.
Yep. And I was trying to explain that to some people that, oh, my vote didn't count. Yes, your vote did count, but the electoral college is take precedence of it. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Shamika.
that was gonna be my question. Like, do you feel that, and this is just a personal opinion question, do you feel that the electoral vote should be done away with when it comes to the vice president and presidency race?
Yes, I do. I think that at the time when it was set up, we're talking some hundreds of years ago, but things change, and so it needs to be that if we really say that people's vote actually count, I don't understand how we kind of double standard to me. We
Right.
use the population vote for everything else, our U.S.
Hmm.
Senate, even mayor, city council, our board of ed, even our local judges is used by popular vote. And
Right.
then we get to the most important, well, all of them are important, but the executive branch of our government, we use the national electoral college, which is contradictory to me. So I am in favor of changing it to population vote.
Me
Because
too.
another thing I read recently, that even the president and vice president candidates are not visiting some of the states because of the electoral college. Some of them are predominantly Republican states, some predominantly Democrat, and they say, oh, okay, we already know we're going to get those votes. So those people don't get a chance to even see those candidates, which is very
Mm-hmm.
unfair.
Yep. Very true. Very true. Also, too, I was talking to someone about the census and how important that the census is for the community. Can you clarify how important and how the census can help our community have certain businesses in our area? How important, just giving that information, it helps us a whole lot. Can you break it down for our listeners?
Yes, the census is very important. If you have not done it, shame on you. You better not ever complain about why your roads look the way they do, why you don't have the best library, why you don't have better businesses in your community, why your school system don't have enough funding for it. And then why you have only your representation at the state level and the federal level is determined by the census. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's important. It's a population count, and so they don't know. When I say they, the federal government does not know how to allocate money if they don't know you exist. So if you don't fill out the census, they don't know you exist for 10 years. Your community is not going to receive the money that it should receive, and the amount of money that's allocated is based on the number of population. So just think in the community. Just say it's really 10,000 people that actually live in that community, but only 5,000 filled out the census. Well, for 10 years, you only gonna get money for 5,000 when you could actually be getting money for 10,000, which can result in hundreds of millions of dollars in your community. So don't complain if you don't fill out the census. The government is not looking for you to come and get you, because if you receive the stimulus check, if you file income tax, the government already know where to find you at if they want to come get you. This is a requirement. This is actually a law that's required that every person, you don't have to be a citizen. If you are residing in the United States during the time of the census, you are required to participate in the census. Another thing I want to add in as a caveat to it is that for African Americans, the census is very important. For those of us who like to find out who our family history is, going to the archives, like in Georgia, we have 2 archives in Morrow. We have the Georgia and the National Archives. So if you like looking on Ancestry.com to see who your heritage is, your ancestors, guess where they get that information from? The census. And it's not released until 75 years later. So nobody's doing any fraud with you. But that's how we're able to track our ancestors. We're the only people on this continent in the United States that cannot directly track our lineage back because of course, because of slavery. So by you not participating, you are harming your future generation from knowing that you even existed in the United States of America.
Well, I want to jump on that before we get too far along, Miss Valencia, because me myself, I did the census online, but not too long ago, I had a lady knock on my door, and it was at nighttime, and she was claiming that she was from the census. Like, do they still do that door to door? Because me, I felt uncomfortable, even though I did let her know I already completed it, but
Mhm.
with other people, somebody come knock at your door late at night, they uneasy about situations like that. And a lot of people growing up the way I did, my father was like, you don't give out information at the door.
Mhm.
So how do you, make people feel comfortable with giving this information and the positives for providing the information when, we all grew up in that household, what goes on here, stay here,
Right.
don't let nobody in my business type situation.
Yes. And that is a challenge, especially in our African American communities, because we have a huge distrust for government, period. And so, only thing I can say is that if you don't want them knocking on your door, you don't want to give out information, go online to I think it's
Right.
mycensus2020.com. I believe that might be it. I can't remember
Yes,
the
ma'am.
website. And so that's what I would say. In that way, if they're knocking on your door, you don't have to open your door. I already filled it out. Check your record. But if they just happen to come and you don't feel comfortable, you can ask. You can call the 800 census number and to verify who they are, because there are a lot of scammers out here. A lot of people scam during the COVID-19, and anytime they get a crook is a crook. So anytime they get an opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. So don't give out your information you're not comfortable with. Go on that website and fill out that census, because you're talking about for 10 years. If you look at our early education system, we need so much more. Many people talk about free pre-K, kids being able to go. That's money that's set aside to be able to help support that. And if you didn't put in that you have a child, and your child now for 10 years will not have money set aside, that hurts everybody, because that's an extra burden on that community to be able to support your child, because they got to provide for them. But why make the community have to do extra work when there's money, your taxpayer money, because it's your money. So your money going to another community if you
Right.
don't fill out that census.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was gonna play a little game with you. Here come the crazy Grady side of it. But
Oh,
first,
it's going
before I,
left.
before I make my left turn, let me get one to D before she gets started. Before I get started, one, do you have anything you want to say? Did I mute you or you mute yourself? Okay, let's try this.
I said I'm all
Oh, you
right.
good?
I'm interested in this game you
Okay.
about to play,
Yes.
I'm
Grady.
not.
And
I'm not.
Tamika, should he should he be banned from playing
Oh,
No,
these
Miss
no,
games,
but
Valencia, be
Tamika?
warned. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
she's from Atlanta, so she already know. Um, but this is the okay. This is the first time ever doing. I'm
Oh
going off the cuff,
Lord.
ladies and gentlemen. But it's something that
See, we
that
supposed to practice. I
Oh
can't deal.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
no.
I don't do well with practice. But Miss, it's just to piggyback on what the census is. So it's going to be yes or no. Okay. You already let one out the bag. What I'm going to ask you is the census good for, like you said, what on daycare service? You're going to say yes. Stuff like that. Okay. Are we cool?
Okay. Now, if I don't know about if I want to say yes or no, I might need an explanation. Is that allowed?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
phone a
That's allowed.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah. You. Yeah.
Okay.
Phone a
It's gonna be
friend.
real basic. Yeah, you can ask, is it allowed? You can ask whatever you want to do. We just having fun. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Miss Stovall. Having a census, filling out a census report, it allows your community to have a Chick-fil-A. All right.
That's possible. Yes.
That's possible. Okay. What you mentioned daycare. I took that off my scratch that off my list. The census have grocery stores, particular stores.
Yes.
Okay.
Better quality grocery stores.
Better quality grocery stores. So let's say if you live in an urban area and you travel outside your area. Let's say you go to Gwinnett County, and you get to Gwinnett County, you see the Dwarf House, you see all kind of store. I don't want to mention these store names because they're not paying me, but these
Right.
high end stores with the letter K, um, the women fashion stores, all these major outlets. Those are due to census, correct?
Yes. What happened? Can I do an explanation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens is that we talked about population, and also with the census comes other statistics as far as medium income in the community. So
Hmm.
when businesses are looking at whether they're going to open up in your community, they're looking at two things. First, your education system, and then they're looking at the medium income. So when you talk about high-end companies or businesses, they want to know that you have expendable income or extra money to be able to spend if they bring their high price product or service to your community. And so that's the other importance. So when we talk about transforming our education system, they want to know what is their future workforce going to look like if they decide to locate in your particular community.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Disposable income, right? They want to know what you have to spend because if you have to spend, they're gonna show provide you because it's all about extending. I can't even say the word. How you say it, one? Yeah, that word, the economy.
Stimulating.
Bringing jobs and everything in. It's crazy great radio. Hold on, I got to give some shout outs to the listeners. Lakel Farley, EJ say he's sliding in like James Brown. Hey, what's going on, fam? I can't. I'm not on the other site. I know Shamika's on the DJ Grady Baby Radio site, so I can't see who's all on there. But I really, really, really appreciate you guys. Give us those thumbs up and likes and shares. This information, we have to get this information out to all the people who's eligible to vote. If you can't get out to vote, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to get one of my friends. Matter of fact, a co-host, Happy Face Transportation. If you guys need transportation to the voting polls, I was gonna see if I can get her on the show that we can get somebody to get you out to the poll. And also, Miss Stovall, what day are they gonna be holding an election for your seat? And when do they need to register? What's the deadline?
Okay, so it's very important. I will be My name is listed on the November 3rd ballot. It will be up on the special election section. So when you get to, so you're gonna have president, vice president, the first Senate seat, and then you're gonna see this title at the top says special election. That's the one to pay attention to. And you're
Hmm.
gonna go down to number 16 on that ballot. I'm number 16, and you're gonna look for Stovall. That's all. Then you can finish out the rest of the election. That's very important. But make sure you stop at number 16 on that ballot.
She says,
So early
Stovall.
voting starts October the 15th. I'm sorry, October the 12th through October the 30th. So it's no excuse. You don't need to wait till November the 3rd. Go ahead. You can either request your absentee ballot applications. You can put those applications in to get your ballot, and you don't have to mail your ballot in. They have drop boxes all over the state in different in your county. And when you could just put it in there, just like you would drop mail off, you put it in that drop box. And all those drop boxes are secure. They have to have by law a camera that's there 24 hours. So if you don't want to go in to cast your vote, you have all kind of options. No excuse for you not to vote in this election or any election. So October the 12th through the 30th. Some counties have Saturday voting, which would be October the 24th. I think it's mandatory Saturday 24th, so everywhere all over the state. And then some counties have Sunday voting. So there's plenty of opportunities from October the 12th all the way to October the 30th to go and vote. Even some companies are letting their employees off on this day to go and vote. So you all, it's very important. If you like what's going on now, you don't have no problem with it, then you stay at home. But you better not complain. You better not say nothing to nobody about what's going on. If you don't like what's going on, this is your chance to go and vote. So I can't stress it enough. It's very important. Your vote is your voice. Your voice is your vote. But vote Stovall. That's all.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
like
yeah.
that line.
That's
Number
That's
16.
all.
that's right.
16, Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
Well,
Yes.
Miss Valencia, I'm not in the state of Georgia, but I do want to let you know if I was, you had definitely had my vote. I appreciate your information, your time, and you answering the questions. You definitely opened my eyes to a couple of things, and hopefully we reached a couple of listeners that had similar questions, and and they'll get out and do the same.
Well, thank you. You know, even those who can't vote, we always accepting donations. You can go to my website at gostovall.com. Any amount, it will help us to be able to get the word out. We have to go across the whole state of Georgia. We've been traveling across, even outside the metro area to talk to the voters and let them know that we're in this race. We're not getting out of the race. We decided when we first decided to register to be able to be in this race that we were in it to win it. And so we can't do it without your support, without your help. We need your vote. We need your prayers, and we need you to spread the word. Let people know. I don't care where they are in the state of Georgia. We need you to spread the word about Stovall.
That's right. That's right. And
What else do you need, Miss Stovall, for your campaign outside of like funds? Are you doing like a phone campaign or anything like that? What do you need help with?
Yes, definitely. Phone banking. We call it phone banking. Passing out literature. You like if you go into the store, we can see you some literature. You know how you get out your car to go in the store. On your way in, you can put some literature on the cars. On your way back out, you can put some literatures on the cars. And mostly, like if you're on social media, and whether you have a large following or you have a small following, we're there for all people. So it doesn't matter if you big time people or small time people. So spreading that word is going to be very essential. We talk about the word of mouth. I know our business stayed in business for so many years because of word of mouth and because we gave good service. And so that's, if I can't employ anything else to talk about phone banking, call 20 of your friends, call 25 of your friends and tell them about this campaign. Go to my website. I'm on all the social media handles. Every Friday, I do a Facebook Live Friday talking about issues. Last week, we talked about women's health. We talked about maternal mortality. The week before that, we even had a session with teachers before they went into session between school. We had it with the students talking about how they're feeling through COVID. I heard you all mention that you have done something similar. And so we done one with senior citizens, how they're coping during COVID-19. Next Friday, we're going to be doing one on independent races. So everybody always asks, why are you running as independent? What does that mean? So we're going to be talking about that and voting on next Friday at 6 o'clock.
Did
you
you
know,
want to throw out your Instagram and your
Yes.
handles? Okay.
Yes. So on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, it's at Valencia Stovall. And Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn are all at Valencia Stovall. You can like my page on Facebook. I have two Facebook pages, but the one that you can like is at Valencia Stovall /GA for Georgia. And so we definitely just keep pushing it, sharing. If you see we're doing something, hit the share button, comment on our pages, but get the word out. I can't stress that enough. You can do your internal family and friends. We call it the phone tree. You know how we had heard it through the grapevine? I need y'all to
mhm.
send this through the grapevine about this
Yes.
campaign.
Yes. All right. Also, Miss Eugenia Brown said, thank you for the valuable information." I know Shamika told me not to read out loud in public anymore, but I had to read that.
Yeah.
But
Don't be
yeah,
embarrassing us in front of company.
embarrassing from the company. Thank you, Miss Eugenia Brown, for listening. Also, to people, if you're outside of the state, please go to her website. Email her. Also, along, if you have any demands and things that you want to talk about, all of the politicians based around demands and donations. Sometimes you have to donate to get your demands met because that's how they play in the big boy league. Am I right?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you another trick. I always share this
Uh
with my constituents and other people. Since you said that, I'm gonna bring this up.
huh.
Many times, as voters, we have a list as elected officials. We're able to look on to see how often the person votes. So whenever we get an email in, most of the time we first check to see do they live in my district, because it's all about voters, about electing us back. So just for those people who don't vote all the time but always complaining, and you wonder why nobody ever calls you back or they take their time with calling you back, it's because you're not a regular voter. So that's the other important part of being a voter. You have a voice and you're able to talk directly with your elected officials on your needs that you're having that you want to see resolved. And even if you have a example or you have a bill that you would like to be introduced, reach out to your local elected officials. They're not that are not within reach. They should not be, and give them ideas. We're not the smartest people. Most of the two bills that I came up with came from ideas from someone else. even though I have a son that has special needs, with learning disability. And so that pushed me even more when that particular idea was presented to me by Lala Dunson, who the bill is named after her son, Landon Dunson.
Wow. Also, too, and just to piggyback on that, what you just said too, even dealing with the legal system, far as law enforcement, and if you are a registered voter and you constantly in contact with the people that's in your district, if they know you or familiar with you, they will speak up on your behalf. Am I correct? Or
That's right. Yeah, if
okay,
I don't know you, I'm not going down there speaking up for you. But if I
yeah,
know you, I will. I did want to mention something about convicted felons. Don't call me, I'm not coming.
okay,
Convicted felons, they are eligible to vote. If your sentence has been completed, you are eligible to vote. And if you're having
mm,
problems with it, definitely you can contact the Georgia Justice Project, and that's gjp.org, and they can be able to help you with facilitating that. You automatically supposed to be taken off of that list that prevents you, but sometimes, of course, you're talking about government, that doesn't happen. So don't get discouraged. And even if you go to the polls and they say that you're not eligible to vote, you tell them you want to vote anyway. That is, you can dispute that and say, no, I've cleared up my sentence. I still want to vote. So don't just walk away, because that vote is important.
okay. I know I'm about to wrap it up a little bit. So, how
Okay.
long do they sentence have to be complete before they can actually apply for that?
As long as they've completed everything, if they I think with the fines paid and they've served all of their time, that makes them eligible to be able to vote. But for more information, I'm not an expert in that area.
Mhm.
Definitely contact the Georgia Justice Project.
Georgia Justice Project. All right, make sure I put that up there. Yeah, Georgia Justice Department. All right. I want to thank you for coming on, Representative Stovall, and look forward to having you back on again. And
Yes, once you win, I'm gonna come back on and we're gonna have a good celebration.
yes, yes. Shout out to G.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to G Clark and Katrina. I know they had family things going on, so we love you guys. Wanda, do you want to have got any closing statement before I wrap it up? 'Cause I know
Well,
we got a minute.
just pay attention. Miss Stovall, she left off some great information, and we have to take action. I'm all about taking action. We, like you said, Queen, if you like the way everything's going and don't complain, stay at home. But if you don't, then you got to get out here and make a difference, because 2020 is definitely that year about making a difference and an impact. So I thank you, and as always, I think what you're doing, because somebody got to do it,
Yep. Yeah,
and
somebody.
you doing it. So thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. You got out. You got my vote.
Okay.
Any closing statement, Shamika?
Pretty much the same. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck, best of luck to you with the race, and definitely come back so we can celebrate.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. And I'm your official DJ. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. So, hey, I know you already got your DJ. But ladies and gentlemen, we want you guys to get out and vote. Help somebody to vote. Also, get your people registered to vote. If they haven't felt it, let's get it in. Also, get to know your politician, like we said earlier. If you don't, hey, I'm gonna post this video on djgradybaby.com so you can play it again. Also, go to DJ Grady Baby Radio. You can hear it again. Also, Grady Taylor on Facebook, and also the Grady Taylor Show on YouTube. So make sure you guys, stay abreast and stay aware. Love each other a little bit more. We love you guys. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.